Emmy-nominated actress and comedian Yvonne Orji has quickly become a Hollywood headliner. She's best known for her role as Molly Carter on HBO's hit show Insecure. Take a look.
I've just been feeling so tense all the time. Like I'm dreading something, but I don't know what.
And you think this stems from Issa?
She crossed the line by going behind my back with Andrew.
Is there anything you feel like you could have done differently in the moment?
Honestly, no. She has to apologize.
And now Orji can add author to her list of accomplishments. Her new book is called Bamboozled by Jesus, How God Tricked Me into the Life of My Dreams. Welcome to the show, Yvonne. So good to talk to you.
Nice to talk to you, too. Thanks for having me.
So first off, this has been described as not a self-help book, but a get yours book, a modern-day biblical blueprint. Would you agree with that assessment?
Absolutely. Listen, I love me a good self-help book as well, but a lot of times what readers do, they buy it and they are like ready to jumpstart their new whatever, and then the book becomes a coffee table holder. It's just for show and for decoration. And I'm like, nah, you gonna get yours. Everybody, there's some gems that are dropped in the book, and if you apply them, I'm telling you right now, like if you like anything about my life, it's possible for yours.
And you write that as a child of immigrant parents, your life pretty much was mapped out for you. Do well in school, get a good job, raise a family. You call it following the good Nigerian girl protocol, but you say that Jesus had another plan for you. How did you realize ultimately what that plan was?
Yeah, I was going to be a doctor, which, my last name is Orji. So paging Dr. Orji to gynecology. That was when I knew God had jokes, but God bless me. God told me to do comedy, and I had never done it. And it was also not a thing that my very immigrant parents felt like could be a career. I mean, I didn't know it could be a career either. And so, he derailed all of our plans. And, obviously that's the whole part of being bamboozled, because on the flip side, when you get to the other side of the bamboozlement, you see that it works out. But in the middle of it, you can't see the light at the end of the tunnel, and you just have to keep believing that there is an end that is better than the beginning.
And speaking of not being able to see that light of day, you've struggled for years with how to tell your parents that you didn't want the good Nigerian girl protocol, including going to medical school. What did it take ultimately for you to be honest with them, and how did that conversation go?
Oh man, I mean, I did everything. I got a master's degree to stall. I worked in war torn Liberia post-conflict, like in 2008, to continue stalling, because that was easier than breaking their hearts. When immigrant parents come here, they come here with so much sacrifice for us, their children. And so for me, I was like, how do I rip this Band-Aid off? And so I kept stalling. And then finally I realized, short of going to medical school, becoming a doctor, and marrying a doctor, they're not going to be happy. So if I'm not doing that, I might as well just, have the tears start now, because I'm going to keep disappointing them. And I'm going to disappoint myself, because I'm just kind of like walking this eggshell, not really following my purpose, but not really following their plans. And so I had to have that tough conversation. And, it was a long road. And it took me 7 years to make it. And that was actually, I gave them an ultimatum. I said, it's going to take me 8 years to make it as a doctor. Just give me 8 years to make it in entertainment. And we made it in 7. And I was like, won't he do it? Look at God.
Look at God, right? Won't he do it? And in your book also, you say that Jesus or faith can work for anyone, even if you aren't Christian or spiritual. How so?
Yeah, because at the end of the day, the Bible is a book of principles, right? And principles work for anybody who works the principles. It's like we know you don't have to be a scientist to know the laws of gravity. That's a principle. Like you can jump off a cliff if you want, you're gonna fall. And so it's the same thing with the Bible. It's like there's so many people who don't subscribe to faith or religion that are benefiting off of the principles that are found in the Bible. And so that's what I say. And like obviously, I come from a biblical perspective, but yeah, like the golden rule is just a principle on how not to be a jerk. And people work that principle all the time. So there's some nuggets and gems that I drop in the book that even if you say, I don't really get down with the whole Jesus thing, it's like, it's cool. Just keep reading. There's something here for you.
And the subtitle of your book is How God Tricked Me into the Life of My Dreams. You write that things worked out pretty well for me, and I'm confident that they'll work out amazingly for you too. To what do you most attribute your success? Because just playing devil's advocate here, a lot of people can be believers and not necessarily have success, at least here on earth.
Oh, yeah. I mean, listen, faith without works is still dead. At the end of the day, you got to there's some muscle that has to be put into it. I definitely know, like, having the Nigerian gang star gene, because we're hustlers. We're going to be successful. We just believe, there's a saying that says, Nigerians they carry last, which means Nigerians don't finish second place. That was kind of like instilled in me from an early age of just like, you grind, you go, you do, you work hard, you believe for the best. So like having that, cultural aspect as well as having the faith aspect, because there's definitely some things I've accomplished in my life, even being on Insecure, going from, stand-up comic to #2 on a call sheet on an HBO premium cable show. Like I skipped some steps, and I can definitely attribute that to favor and faith as well as to hard work.
Right, you got to pray and move your feet, they say. Of course, you're in an industry that's often uncomfortable with religion and people of faith, but you've been very open about your relationship with God for a long time. How have you made this work for you?
Well, because I didn't know I had to choose. I didn't know that there was ever a portion of me that I had to like keep one aspect of myself hidden while, putting forth a good. I don't like to have different versions of myself, because then I can't remember the last one that I shared. So for me, it just works to have a symbiotic relationship with who I say I am and what I do. And it's never, my faith is loud, but it's never in a way where it's like, it doesn't invite other people in. It's never in a way where it keeps people away. So for me, I've been fortunate that I'm like, if you like me, you got to like all parts of me. And it works.
Yvonne Orji, we thank you so much. It is certainly working for you. Yvonne's book, Bamboozled by Jesus, is now out and available wherever books are sold. Yvonne, once again, thank you for your time. I appreciate you coming on the show.
Thank you so much for having me.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.